Okay, I was waiting for the recording to turn on. All right. We'll start with today's session. We'll begin with attendance. Okay, I will call the roll number, unmute and just say yes, sir. Roll number 1, roll number 2,
Presence of
roll number 3, 4,
yes, sir.
5, 6,
Present, sir.
7, 8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Yes, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16, 16,
Present, sir.
17, 18.
Present, sir.
That is 17, right?
Present, sir.
Okay. 18 is present. Okay. 19,
Present, sir.
Yes, sir. Present.
Yes, sir.
20. All right. All right. 20,
Present, sir.
21,
Yes, sir.
22, 23,
Present, sir.
24, 25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
27, 28,
Present, sir.
29, 29, 30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present,
32,
sir.
32, 33, 33, 34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36,
Present, sir.
37,
Yes, sir.
38, 38 is present. 39, 40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Present, sir.
okay, 43,
Yes, sir.
44,
Present, sir.
45, 46,
Present, sir.
47, 46 is present. 47,
Present, sir.
48,
Yes, sir.
49,
Present, sir.
50, 51,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
50 is also present, right?
50
52,
present, sir.
okay, 52,
Sir. Present, sir.
all right, 53,
Present, sir.
54,
Present, sir.
55, 56,
Yes, sir.
57,
Present, sir.
58,
Present, sir.
59,
Present, sir.
60,
Present, sir.
61,
Present, sir.
62,
Present, sir.
63,
Present, sir.
64,
Present, sir.
65,
Present, sir.
66, 67,
Present, sir.
68,
Present, sir.
69,
Present, sir.
70,
Present, sir.
71, 72,
Present, sir.
73,
Present, sir.
74, 74 is not there, 75, 76. Okay, quickly, anybody who joined late and couldn't give the attendance, put it in the chat. 70 is present.
The roll number 7.
7. Okay.
Sir, roll number 1.
Roll number 1. Yes.
Sir, roll number 7.
Roll number 7, I got it. Anybody else? 5 is there. Okay. 69, 21. 21, I got it. 69. Okay, I got it. Okay, all right. Okay, so yesterday we talked about what is the meaning of each of the word management and entrepreneurship for IT industry. We looked what is management, and we looked what is entrepreneurship, and we looked into what is projects and how projects. Today we are going to talk about how projects are getting executed, and then we will go through your syllabus, and then we'll start with the first chapter. All right. Okay. Before we jump into the syllabus, what is a project? Yesterday I told what is a project. Can you respond in the chat session? What is a project? Okay. Anybody? What is a project? It is a unique service which has a definite start and definite end. Okay, so that is Vibha almost correct. What is a project? Is a project is a you can say it is a activity, or it is a process by which you create a unique product. Okay, the product can be anything, like it can be a physical product or our web application, mobile application. Okay, we call that as a product. It is the process that is carried out to create a unique product or service. Okay, and which will start with a definite date. We start a project on definite day. It is planned in such a way it will end at a certain time period, let's say 6 months or 7 months. It has a definite time period, and after that project time period, 6 months or 7 months, you will have that unique product or the service. For example, is constructing a house. So when you approach a engineer, he start working on that, and he work on all the plans and layouts and how to build. And one fine day, the construction begins, and he will have a rough estimate. Let's say it will complete in 4 months. After the 4 months, you will have the building erected. So that is called a project. So what is the need of why do we carry out the project? We discussed in the last session. The projects are carried out to solve the problems. Okay, mainly projects are carried to solve the problems, increase the productivity, increase the profitability. So these are the various objectives. Projects are always created with a objective. Uh, to meet that objective, we execute the project, and at the end of the project, we meet those objectives. Okay, that those are the projects, and projects are carried out in all the fields. It could be civil engineering field, mechanical engineering field, computer science, any branch. There are projects are carried out. In case of a computer science and engineering, so we are more focused on the IT industry, right? In case of a IT industry, projects are carried out. Most of the mechanisms of management is applicable to all the engineering disciplines, right? Whatever the management techniques we are going to talk about, it is applicable everywhere. So that is the reason we are studying this management, and also with respect to our computer science and engineering projects. What is a project? How the projects are executed? Now we know why the projects are executed, and what is a project. Now we will understand how IT projects are executed. So IT projects are executed, for example, healthcare management system. Okay, you want to build a healthcare management system, and certain organization, so let's say hospital, approaches. So what is the project is going to be? The project is going to be healthcare management system, means managing the healthcare business, admitting the patients, registering doctors, keeping history of the patient, keeping the records of the all the medical bills, everything, whatever the business that goes on inside the hospital, to carry out this in using a software, providing a software solution, we build a product. So that would be our project. How we start is, the first step is like there is something called as a SDLC. Okay, anybody knows what is a SDLC? So SDLC is a software development. Yes, yes, yes. Aniket, come on.
Software development life cycle.
Very good. Okay, SDLC. So we follow the software development life cycle. The software, how we where we begin is, we want to understand what we have to build. For example, healthcare management system. Computer science engineers, we are not thorough with their domain, healthcare domain. So there is a one phase called as a requirement gathering phase. So what you will do is, you will gather requirement. What is the meaning of gathering requirements is, you will talk to doctors, you will talk to nurses, you will talk to administrative people, what they want. Okay, so you will put it as a requirement. For example, administrator, if you talk to administrator will say that this is the form. When patient comes in, he should do this registration, and these are the different information we capture. So you create one form for that, where you will capture all. That is called as a patient registration. And for let's say pharmacist, okay, you want to doctor will give a prescription. For giving a prescription, you need, doctor will recommend this medicines, this much quantity. Okay, so he will put in the prescription, and that is doctor's requirement. And pharmacist, the once the doctor gives the prescription, it should move to the pharmacist should be able to see the prescription and give the medicine. Okay, and take the payment. So our software should be, I mean, I'm just giving a very broad requirements. When you actually work on the requirement, it is a very detailed work. So you will check each and everything, and you document. Okay, at the end of the requirement gathering phase, like, you talk to everybody. We call them as a stakeholders. So do you know what is a stakeholder? Okay, stakeholder of a project is, anybody can type in or you can speak up. Okay, if you are aware of that word, stakeholder. Stakeholder is a person or an organization which is positively or negatively impacted by the project. Okay, when we carry out the project, it will impact certain people. Either it will impact positively, it will impact negatively. Okay, so those, all the people and organizations are called as the stakeholders. So we talk to all the stakeholders and we get the requirements. Clear? Once we have the requirement, we create a document which is called as a SRS. Anybody knows what is SRS?
Software requirement specification.
Very good. Okay. So this is the document we create, which will give a detailed requirement, software requirement specification, SRS document. Now the development methodology has changed. First, you understand this methodology. So this now what we have waterfall traditionally. The IT projects were developed using the waterfall method. Now the methodology is changed. There is iterative method, agile method, things are like that. If you understand one process, that is fine. Once you have the requirement, then you will do the requirement analysis. You will go through the requirement analysis. You will see if there is any ambiguity or redundancy, right? Then you clear off those if there is any ambiguity or redundancy, and you do the analysis of the requirements. Then you will create a scope. What is a scope is like what you are going to do. So you will create a scope, and scope is the one which will guide you. Like this is the amount of work you are going to do, or this is, for example, in terms of development, I would say we are going to develop patient registration form and prescription form, payment. These are some of the examples. So those are the things we will put it in the scope. Then we do the high level design. What is a high level design is uh, what are the if it is a web application, what technology we are going to choose, why we are going to choose going for a local server hosted on the client premise or moving to the cloud computing, things like that. And when we need a database, what kind of tables we have to create, right? Patient information, doctor information, then the lab test information, payment information. There are so many information that we have to keep. We have to design those tables. So once we have the high, and also we will design the architecture, what architecture we are going to follow. Once we have that, then we go to the low level design. In the low level design, we will actually create what is required. For a example, like designing a table, exactly table, what elements will it will have, what kind of a data type it will have, how many columns it will have, how many tables, what views, all those things. That is called as a low level design. Once we have the low level design documents are ready, then we are ready for the software development, right? We take the requirement document. We will have front-end developers, back-end developers, experts on the operating system, databases, network. So all the people will combine together, and they will start developing the screens, tables one by one. That is called as a development phase. Once the development phase, this is a typical waterfall methodology. Once the development method is complete, all the required forms and everything, whatever user wants, is ready. Then it goes to the testing phase. There are different kinds of testing. They will test. When they do the testing, they test against the requirement, what user wants, and whether we are providing it or not. So we do the testing. There are different types of testing: black box testing, then white box testing, unit testing, integration testing. So those are the different testing. You will understand those later when you see the project development. So once we testing is complete, everything looks fine. Okay, if there are any problems in the testing, again it goes to the development team. Development team will fix those errors. Again, they will give it to the testing team. So this will go iteratively. Once all the errors are fixed, now you think this product is ready, then it goes for a user acceptance test, that is called as UAT. So you present it to the user will look at the software. He will say if he has any more changes, he will let the changes known to you. You make those changes, then finally you roll out that product. We call that as putting into the production. Then your work will go to the production, and it will be used by all the members who are intended to use that particular software. Maybe administrative block, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, all those people, they will be able to use that system. So this is how we create any software in the industry. So during this phases, okay, from starting, it might take about, it depends on the complexity of the project. Some projects will take 6 months, some projects will take 1 year. It depends on how complex and how big is the that particular project. So During this, let's say 1 year of project phase, we call it as a project phase. It started with the requirement analysis. It ends with the production. You put it in the production. Okay, once it is in the production, it is used by all the users. Anybody knows what is the phase that is called once you put it in the production, once it is used by everybody, after that, what is the phase it is called? Okay, once it goes into the production, when it is being used by the all the users, we say that that particular project is in the operation phase. You must have heard the word operations. Okay, operation is what? Once you put that product in the production environment, that then it goes into operation mode. What is operation mode? Is like while they are using, there might be some problems, some errors, or some changes are required. Those are taken care during the operations. Okay, so that is the activity of the operation. So this is how we develop and maintain the softwares. During this complete 1 year, right, a lot of people are involved, right, manpower is involved, and a lot of different roles are involved, like we have developer, we have tester, we have database administrator. So all these resources are working on these tasks which are designed at the earlier stage. Okay, when they are working, they have these, all these resources should be managed, right? If you want to have the effective work, these people should be managed, and you should make sure that the work is getting done, the monitoring should be done. If you think it is lagging, because we have a deadline, if it is a lagging, we have to have some control mechanism, right? So this complete period should be managed, and using the management techniques and management processes, we can execute these projects. So now you understand how the projects are done. Now we will understand the management part of the particular project, how these projects are managed. Normally there is a project manager who will take care of all the management activities. All the developers, testers, database administrator, they actively work on the tasks that are given by the manager. Manager is the one who will maintain the progress, how the progress is going on. He will implement the control mechanisms. He will check something is lagging. Okay, if something is lagging, how to bring back that particular thing into a proper schedule. So he will maintain that. So the job of a manager is to manage the team, resources, everything, until it completes the project. Okay, so that is how we do the IT projects. Now we'll go through the, with that particular understanding, now we will approach this particular subject. So module 1, okay, introduction, meaning, nature and characteristic of the management. So some of the things we have, like it will be repetitively, it will be coming. Okay, some of the things that will come repetitively across your syllabus. Okay, then scope and functional areas of the management. What is the scope and what is the functional areas of the management? We'll see what are functional areas of the management. Goals of management. So why management is there? What is its goals? And what are the levels of management? You must have heard levels of management is top level management, mid level management, right? First line management. So what is the difference? What are the responsibilities at each level? We'll see that. Brief overview of evolution of management theories. There are many management theories that are proposed. So why management theories are proposed is like this is to manage the organizations and the projects. So the theories that are proposed will help in improving managing the resources. I talked about the 4 M's. Management is all about managing 4 M's, right? What are those 4 M's? Anybody? I told management is all about managing 4 M's. What are those 4 M's? Material is correct. Manpower correct. Money, and one more is Satvik, Snehal, good. Okay, one more is machine. Machine. Okay, Nell, it is machine. Okay, so you have to think in, yes, that is correct. Certainly. How you have to think is, if you want to do any kind of a work, right, you want to create something, what is the first thing that is needed? You need the money, right? If you want to do any work, first thing that is required is the finance or the money. And once you have the money, then what you need, suppose you are making let's say small car, okay, then you need the material to build that particular car. Once you have money and material, you need the right manpower who knows about that, right manpower. Okay, and right manpower, and to assist that right manpower we need machines, right? Machines is like to build anything we need lot of tools. Okay, so those are called as a machines. Those are the 4 M's, correct? So overview of management theories. Here we will talk about in the management functional areas of the management. There are different functional areas proposed by many people. So whatever is included in your syllabus is like we have planning, directing, controlling, then representing. There are some of the functional areas. First one we'll look is planning. What is a planning? Nature, importance of the planning, how important is a planning for any organization or the project, types of plans, what are the different plans, steps planning. This is one management functional area. Then is next one is organizing. So organize is what? Once you have the plan, you need to organize the things, right? You have to bring in everything. You have to bring in the men and the material together. So that is organizing. Nature and purpose of the organizing, types of organization, staffing. Staffing is what? Mainly about the introduction to the management. Then it talks about the planning and organizing. And module 2 is directing and controlling. Okay, so what is the meaning of direct? Okay, what direct means? Think about a director, movie director. That will give you idea. What do you think directing means? Guide. Very good. Okay, so directing is like you have already now you have the manpower, you have material, now you have to direct them. The way movie director, okay, he knows about the whole thing, right? He will bring in all the pieces, he will direct them how to act, and that is how he will build that particular cinema or any kind of a movie. In this case, directing is like you have all the resources, and all the resources is, it could be manpower as well as the material, directing those into taking the proper task, working on the proper task, and completing the objective for which that particular project or the organization is functioning. So we'll understand the meaning and nature of the directing. Leadership styles, there are different styles of a leadership, and all these are intuitive, like you already have some kind of a leadership, right? It doesn't mean that you have no idea about the leadership. So just you will be formally you will be understanding what are the different styles of leadership we have, and which one is beneficial, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, things like that. Motivation theory. What is a motivation? All these are very generic words, right? What do you think is a motivation?
Encouraging the teammates.
Yes, Aniket, very good. Encouraging. You know why we need encouraging?
So they can work easily, or can bring some new ideas to the
Very nice.
project.
Very nice. Very good, Aniket. See, what happens is humans are, we need to be motivated all the time, right? I told project goes for 6 months. During 6 months, we should keep them motivated. Okay, and why we need to motivate is it will increase the productivity. right? If a team is less motivated, the amount of work done will be less. Okay, so we have to motivate. How the motivation is done? Okay, there are a lot of theories are there, motivation theories are there. Some motivations are financial, some are non-financial motivations that we can do. Communication. Okay, communication is, passing the information, right? So what is the meaning and importance? Communication is very, very important when you are working with a project team. Okay, you have a lot of people. Communication plays a vital role. Coordination. What is the meaning and importance of coordination? So what is the coordination, we will understand, and how much important it is in an organization or a project is, we will understand that. Then next one is a controlling. So what do you think is a controlling? Hmm? What is controlling? You have heard about this word, right? Control, right? Some example also, if you want, you can give examples. Anybody? Managing everything. Anushka, managing everything is it involves that controlling is part of the managing everything. Full access over something. Okay, okay. That gives current, that gives some meaning. Power to direct. Very good. Somebody said power to direct or influence people. Very good. Okay, the very good points are coming out here. One thing is authority. When you want to control, right, you should be authorized, right? If you are not authorized, then you will not be able to control. And control, don't take it in the negative way, like restricting someone. No, it is not like that. What the meaning of the control is, already a certain work, let's say we want to build, example, the patient registration form, that will take 7 days to build. Okay, and the control in this sense is in 7 days it should complete. So roughly during, like after 3-4 days, 50% should be complete, right? Then the control here is meaning is, when I check on the middle of the week, if the work is not complete 50%, then there is a problem, right? When there is a problem, let's say only 10% is complete, so we will not be able to complete the task. So control will come in here. We will check why it did not happen, what if there is any problem. Okay, if there is any problem, we need to work on those problems so that we can complete it in the on time. So control comes as a measure to see that things will move properly. Okay, whatever the tasks that have been created and as per the timing, it will complete. So we have to use the control mechanism to keep on checking whether things will are moving in the right direction. If they are not moving in the right direction, then we have to take a corrective actions. That is the job of the controlling. Okay, and it is done by the management or the manager, project manager. Okay, controlling meaning, steps in controlling. How do we include the steps in controlling? Methods of establishing the control. So all those things we'll learn in the module 2. And module 3 is completely dedicated to entrepreneur. Okay, what is the meaning of entrepreneur? Characteristics of an entrepreneur. So we understood who is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a one who has a new idea, who takes a risk. Okay, and he startups, he starts the companies, also called as startups, and he will immensely contribute to the economy of the any country. Also he is the one who brings in lots of jobs. So we will understand what is the characteristic of entrepreneur, classification and types of entrepreneurs. There are different classes and types, various stages in entrepreneurial process, role of entrepreneurs in economic development, entrepreneurship in India, and barriers to entrepreneurship. So what are the barriers they face? We will see that. Identification of a business opportunities, market feasibility study, technical feasibility study, and financial feasibility study, and social feasibility study. So one of the things when we are taking up a project is we do the feasibility study. What is a feasibility study? Whether that particular project can be done or not, right? That is the first. We have to check. We can do only the projects which are feasible, and beforehand we check for the feasibility. For example, there are different types of feasibilities we check. One is the market feasibility. What is the market feasibility? Is if I do this project, whether it is financially viable, means will it give results? Because all projects are done with the thing in a mind on a return on investment. So there is some value expected out of that particular project. So we check for that feasibility. Technical feasibility is technically whether it is possible to do or not. For example, there are cables that are laid under the ocean to have the communication between the countries. When initially it started, that thought, when countries want to communicate with each other, earlier UK and US, those were the pioneers who laid the cables on the seabed. So that time it failed many times. So there were a lot of technical problems. So for any project, first we have to check whether technically it is possible or not, and we have to check financial feasibility and social feasibility. Social feasibility is there are certain social aspects related to the projects. We have to check for those social feasibility. So we'll see those in detail. Next, module 4, preparation of project and ERP. Does anybody know what is the main ERP?
Enterprise resource planning.
Very good. Enterprise resource planning, ERP. So meaning of the project, we talked about this already, like very brief. In brief, we'll see what is project. Project identification. How do we identify the projects? And project selection. Normally what happens is for a organization, client organization, suppose let's say it's a LIC, okay, and they want to improve their working and increase their productivity, and to do that they want to do a lot of software implementations in their organization. So they will identify different areas. So those are the projects. So if you do this project, we will get so much of return on investment. Okay, so they will identify many projects, and among those projects, which one has to be done first? Project selection. There is a different criteria. Project selection, when you are doing a project selection, first your primary goal is to solve the problem of the people. Let's say there was no online payment for LIC. That would be the first priority, right? And in some cases, increasing the profitability is the priority. So based on that, we do the project selection. Then project report. Project report is like it will have a detailed report about the project, how it can be done. This particular aspect is more, it is done more with respect to the when you start on a particular project, beforehand you will create a report, project report. Why do we do that? The reason for doing that, let's say you are an entrepreneur, you have a new idea, and that new idea you put it in the as a you will check the feasibility, market feasibility, everything, and you generate the project report. So there is a format for that, okay, and you create that report. What would be the how you acquire the raw material, how you will process, how you will market, everything will be there. Also there will be how much profits you will make, that is ROI, return on investment, everything will be there. That a document, the entrepreneur, he uses it for financing, right? He needs money to do that, to start that company. So he approaches banks with that project report. People will look into that project report and they will decide whether to give loan or not. Okay, suppose there are investors, even investors will look at the report. They will see everything will be included there: feasibility studies, market capture, how to what profits it will make. Everything will be there. If it is very convincing to them, they will finance. Okay, they will give the loan. So that is the project report. Need and significance of the project report and the contents. So there is a standard document from many funding agencies. They give the content, how the report should be. There is no one format. There are many different formats that can be. We will see some generic contents, okay, which covers most of the things. Formulation guidelines by Planning Commission for project report. So you can see here, Planning Commissions also gives us some guidelines on how project report should be done. So that is the ERP part here. This is the project part. Okay, that is the project part. Next one is the ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Meaning and importance of ERP. So enterprise resource planning involves many functional areas. Okay, functional areas of management, marketing, sales, supply chain management. Marketing, you know what is marketing? Suppose you want to you have certain product and you want to increase the sales. For increasing the sales, you should do the marketing. So marketing will basically try to get into a new areas, new cities, new countries, where it will showcase your product. It will give information about your product. Okay, advertisements, various ways. That is the marketing, where you are making your product known to everybody. And sales is the actual sales. When you do the marketing, the result of the marketing, there could be some sales. So some people will like it and they will purchase. That is the sales part. And supply chain management, I told you, supply chain management is when you are doing something, when you are building something, you will require a lot of materials. So those materials will be taken or acquired from the many vendors. Many vendors will supply those materials. For example, in case of IT projects, you will need a database, say Oracle. Oracle is your vendor. Let's say you are working on Microsoft.NET. So Microsoft is a vendor. Let's say you are using some other tools for your projects. Okay, all those are your vendors, and you will have a supply chain. So supply chain management is more important in terms of manufacturing. Suppose if it is making automobiles, there are thousands of parts, and it comes from many vendors. It doesn't come from only one vendor. It comes from many vendors. So supply chain management is a very important area. How you acquire, because for one piece you don't want to hold the whole manufacturing line. Your supply chain management be very efficient, so that there is no shortage of any material. Finance and accounting and human resources. So these are the some of the areas that are covered under the ERP. Types of reports and methods of report generation. That is the fourth module. And the up to third module, the book Tripathi and Reddy, fourth version, either take version 4 or version 6. Okay, that is sufficient. And module 4, some of the online resources are there. I will share with you. And for module 5 is it talks about all the support system that we have for running organization, doing startups. What are the things available? It talks about that. Micro and small enterprises, definition of micro and small enterprises, characteristics and advantages of micro and small enterprises. Okay, so micro and small enterprises are very you can think in terms of a very small companies. So in Udyam Bagh, many are in this category. The enterprises are micro and small. Reliance is a large enterprise. Tata's is a large enterprises. Okay, so we will see what is the definition of micro and small enterprises and what are their characteristics. Steps in establishing how you can start a micro and small enterprises. Okay, so it talks about that. Then Government of India Industrial Policy 2007 on micro and small enterprises. Then we have case studies. We have 3 case studies. One is Microsoft, and next one is Air Deccan. So Captain G.R. Gopinath and Infosys. So case study is nothing but we will study how those organizations were built, how they are running, so that we can learn from that. Case studies are done for that purpose. Then last part is institutional support. So institutional support means what are the institutions that are available to support the startups or small or micro or the large enterprises. So we have different kinds of institutional supports. We will see into this. One of the support system I talked about is DIC. Okay, if you are coming towards college, near Udyam Bagh, you can see it on the left hand side before the petrol bunk. There is a DIC office. Okay, this is District Industrial Center. So DIC acts as a one window where it will help you with most of the things. So some of these are like SIDBI. These are banking systems. Then cases, IDC, KIADB. All these organizations help you in one or the other aspects of your organization. Okay, in the next class we will start with the your first module. Okay, introduction to the management. Any questions? Any questions? You can unmute and ask. Okay, we have only 2 minutes left. If anybody has any question, you can unmute and ask. Okay. All right. I don't see any questions here. If anybody came in late, didn't give the attendance, you can put it in the chat session. Okay. Put your roll number. I will take that attendance. Thank you, everybody. I will see you in the next class. You may disconnect.